I wish I had known earlier in life that I was going to have that psychosis. I wasn't going to feel right. There was always going to be something missing if they didn't already have kids. And I wish I had known that. It takes me back to that Bob Marley quote where he was saying a man shouldn't awaken affections from a woman unless he's serious about the relationship. And I really thought I was serious, but perhaps I was never going to be serious except for in those relationships where the woman already had children. I think it comes from a trauma of, like a lot of cats, being brought up by a single mother, watching your mother be the only person at doing everything, but you're only like 4 years old or 8 years old and you want to do so much more, but you can't do that. And I feel like that kind of digs into you year after year after year. And I feel what became of it for me is I became the type of cat who really only had serious relationships with women who had children, with single mothers, right? Women who did not have children for some reason, even though some of those relationships seemed like they were perfectly lined up, right? Perfectly aligned. It wouldn't work. Something in my mind wouldn't allow it to happen. And I think I didn't understand at the time, but perhaps in my childhood, I made up my mind that I would find someone like my mother in the position that my mother was in, who may have to work 1, 2 or more jobs, or who be in school and work in order to take care of her, that I would be someone who could step in and be that man. Now I know that. Now I know a whole lot more about myself. I'm pretty sure I know enough to be that octogenarian who can point back and be like, yo, this is my wife. We've been together for decades. I ain't trying to be no serial relationship dude. So I'm there for one, which is the way it should be. Someone who has these memories with you, who's been places with you, who can recall things, help you recall things. You know, you're good at one thing, she's good at the other, you know, and that's co-thinking. That's what it's about. In the end, I just want to work on myself. I want to be the best me I could be. I want to build with cats, you know, here and there, and talk about lessons that we all learn that we could share with each other. But my lesson is that, I don't know, I guess my whole life I have been chasing a certain situation, a certain role. And to be honest with you, when you have that proclivity toward women who already have children, you know, sometimes it could hurt, for lack of a better word, right? Because you show up, but these children already have a father, whether he's present or not, right? And this woman, she kind of in the back of her mind is waiting for that last foot to drop. You know, she's waiting for you to do what everybody else did, right? She, you know, it's hard, I think, sometimes for single mothers to take men serious. So they're kind of always looking at you, out of the side of their eye, and you feel like you showed up late sometimes. Like you should have been there years ago. You should have been there before whatever pain was there. You should have been there. And the other thing is back to commitment. It's not when it's just convenient. And part of the inconvenience often of being with a woman who already has children is you may not feel appreciated. You can sometimes feel needed, feel necessary, and yet not feel appreciated, like they don't recognize that you're necessary. But then perhaps all relationships are like that for the men and the women. Maybe that's just life. In the end, I think what it comes down to is that commitment. Remember, like we said, commitment doesn't mean as long as it's convenient. And it seems like if we could keep that part in mind, we could get to that octogenarian stage where we've been together for decades with our loved one. And we got that history and that co-thinker and someone who can help us as we help them think through life and navigate. They do what they're best at, you do what you're best at, and y'all are 2 in 1. That's the goal, right?